And Bro Plata is live. Tim is in his hoodie, and I am in a lovely blue robe. And we're going to talk about fights, everybody. It's Bro Plata. You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, and also wherever you stream your audio. We are backlogging episodes right now. I'm going to try something with that. So the episodes that we've done that have had videos to them, we will put those up soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're talking Anthony Smith taking on Derek Clark, which generic name there. Was a fantastic night of fights. Tim, how are you, buddy?
It's Devin Clark. You can't give a guy shit for his name and then say his name wrong. It's Devin Clark.
Devin
there you go,
Clark.
you dick. Fine, man. This isn't a hoodie, by the way. This is just a sweater, man. It's a straight sweater. It's not a hoodie. Come on.
Oh, it's just a sweater.
Sweater. Yeah, it's very nice. It has a couple holes in it, though. I'm a little worried. I'm gonna cut those off. There's one down here. Anyway, man, you know what? This card, bro. This was a fun card, dude. Like I just said to you, if we would have talked about this beforehand, there wouldn't have been a whole lot of fights I would have had a whole lot to say about before the fights happened. But afterwards, dude, there's a lot of great fights, a lot of finishes, man. A lot of good stuff on this card. However, sir, there was also a boxing card this weekend.
Yes.
And it was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. happened this weekend for the WBC Legends Only League title, I guess. They both got one, so I guess they're co-champion now. I said, I remember...
They give shit to our generation for everybody getting a trophy. These guys everybody got a belt.
This is like WWE, like a charity function, and the WWE is just handing out titles left and right, going one for you. Oh, you held the spit bucket for Mike Tyson,
and you get a belt, and you get a belt. Yes.
Oh my God, I watched I said to you, I watched like 3 rounds of that fight. And just because I kind of wanted to see how Tyson was, I heard Dana White kind of give praise to Mike Tyson as well for how he looked in the ring. But yeah, Mike Tyson looks good for 54. It's kind of weird to look at, but he has a lot of power behind his punches. Some of the body shots he landed on Roy Jones Jr. were, if it would have been Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson for say a contender slot against any of the belts, yeah, he would have been dead. Roy Jones Jr. would have been nothing. It was kind of interesting. It was very weird to watch. Did you watch any of it?
No, I didn't see any of that. I saw the co-main event. However, man, after I saw what happened with the main event, even if Tyson and Jones look like they can still punch, which I figured they would still be able to, I figured because of the rules, there's a pretty good chance it was just going to be a draw anyway, and it was just a draw. So I'm not disappointed at all that I didn't pay $40, $50 or whatever it was for that, especially when I saw the best thing that happened in the card I saw 1,000 times.
What was that?
Jake Paul and Nate Robertson.
Oh God. The meme video. Have you seen the memes?
Yeah, you sent me like 12 of them, Bray.
Yeah. They're quite delightful. I mean, they're quite delicious to look at, especially like my favorite one so far is the guy in the glasses. And I didn't put him in here. I should have. But the one of it looks like a really wimpy guy who could be Nate Robinson's trainer, and he's just smiling like the nerdy dude. Simba looking at Nate Robinson.
Beetlejuice, right? Wasn't that Beetlejuice, the meme?
No, that wasn't Beetlejuice. It was some just random black dude, like nerdy black dude. It looked like.
It sure wasn't Beetlejuice. I thought it was Beetlejuice.
No, one of them where his head's really swollen. That wasn't the Beetlejuice. Let me see. Did I send you one? I'm looking at the things right now. No, that's not Beetlejuice at all. And that's Martin from the makeup. That one's okay. Martin. So none of those are Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show. But yeah, man, you want to let's watch this. Let's watch this clip. I found it on YouTube. Here's the lovely thing. We got it set up. And then I believe right about here. We're gonna get that and then play it. Bam!
What happened?
Oh, you didn't see it?
This is this is the only video you found of this opening of
Only
slow
video,
motion?
yeah. Only the first. This was the first video I could see. I found on here, but it's still got the nice knockout to it. And here it comes. Bam! Uppercut. Oh, just a left hook. Left hook
Oh yeah,
puts
that's right. Well,
down goes Robinson.
Dude, he knocked him down twice before that, man. I couldn't even honestly. I hats off to Robinson to being able to take those first two punches, but yeah, then he got knocked out cold and he's on his face, and everybody's giving Nate Robinson shit. And what I said to you is unfortunate that people who didn't know who Nate Robinson is just going to think that he's the guy who got knocked out by the YouTube star, which is unfortunate because Nate Robinson, if you do not know, Ray, is a very solid basketball player for a long time. He played for he was one of those vagabond point guards. He played for like 8 teams. And he's very solid for his whole career. He started a good bit, and he's also later part of his career that solid veteran point guard who came off the bench just like a second point guard. But he was also a 3-time NBA Slam Dunk champion at 5'9". So yeah, he was awesome. Nate Robinson was a very solid basketball player for a long time. So the fact that there's a lot of people, a generation of people that's only gonna remember him for this stupid thing he did is a bummer because he was a very solid basketball player for a very long time.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, I love now that we're getting into this weird thing in our 30s where generational stars are like doing things with other generational stars, and they're doing it in a very like Hollywood way, if you will, where back in the day, Dean Martin would see Frank Sinatra, they'd hug each other, have a good, wine together or something like that, scotch, vodka, whiskey, punch up Dame here and there, in the backstage.
Whatever. Sure.
And now we have sports, and then you'd have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar standing next to like Johnny Cash, and everything's cool. Now celebrities are punching each other in the face like it's 1999 on Celebrity Boxing. I love it. I think it's amazing. This is a great time to be alive, sir.
I really wish they'd bring back celebrity boxing, but instead of that, I want celebrity MMA because they don't wear headgear. Yes. Like if they had like the Ohio amateur MMA rules, I would love to see that. Oh my gosh, I want to see that so bad. That'd be hilarious.
Who would be? You're the producer of Celebrity MMA.
Okay.
What is your main event of the evening, and why?
Macaulay Culkin versus Dustin Diamond. Off the top of my head,
Screech on the brain myself.
I say Screech versus somebody because you've met Screech, right? We've met Screech. We know Screech. So
I love Screech.
Yeah, I definitely want to see, and he's nuts. We know he's nuts, so I definitely want to see him fight somebody. And Macaulay Culkin's the first person I thought of because Macaulay Culkin did that Seth Green movie where he fought in the Muay Thai bar. That was kind of funny. You see that one? They're in Thailand and they go to this bar where you can fight people. There's like Muay Thai fighters around, and if you get drunk enough, you can fight them. And I guess those are real things, which is kind of awesome. Probably. I probably would do that. I'd probably get hammered to go in there and get my ass beat. That'd be fun. But Macaulay Culkin's character did it. It was pretty funny. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun. Screech is somebody. Screech and Macaulay Culkin. If you would have, man, maybe next episode I'll have some better ideas. But off the top of my head, definitely Screech and Macaulay Culkin, or Screech and somebody for sure.
Well, I was gonna say
the kid from the Christmas Story. That'd be good too.
Ralphie.
I just saw him on a documentary. He was on a documentary about the Challenger explosion.
Do you know also that he is in the MCU as a scientific character as well? He helped design Barf for Mysterio in Spider-Man Far From Home. He's been, and also he was in Iron Man 1 getting yelled at by Jeff Bridges. He was the guy who Tony Stark built this in the desert with a box of scraps.
Oh, I got you. I want to get yelled at by Jeff Bridges.
Me too, sir. And then I would yell Flynn lives the entire time.
I want to get yelled at by Stick It, Jeff Bridges. That's the Jeff Bridges I want to get yelled at by. Yeah. You ever see Stick It?
No.
It's like the corny gymnastics movie that Jeff Bridges was in like right in a weird spot in his career where he was going downward. This is before Crazy Heart, so he was going downward. And you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen with Jeff Bridges' career, and he's in a movie like Stick It. Then luckily he got Crazy Heart right, won the Oscar, and then boom, he's up again. But that was in a weird spot in his career, man.
I actually bought, and this is how much of a Jeff Bridges fan I am. I bought
the Fabulous Baker Boys.
I bought his solo album.
Okay.
1 year. Yeah, that has a song called "What a Little Bit of Love Can Do." It's a heartwarming song, and I think it's pretty much. What?
You there? Oh, you just stopped talking. I thought you froze.
Nope.
He wrote the songs for Crazy Heart too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good tunes on there. But yeah, and he won an Oscar for that, and I don't know if he won any Oscar for the songs or not. Or Grammy, maybe. I don't know.
I love Jeff Bridges. You know what?
Jeff Bridges. Sure.
You know what? I have an idea. And also, I want to get back on the celebrity MMA thing because, yeah, I would totally get Screech in the main event. I would get a belt that looks like the Saved by the Bell logo just to be a dick. And then I would put him up against, like, Perez Hilton. Like some like Hollywood gossip columnist, and just watch Screech hopefully head kick them right in the face.
No knives, Screech. No knives.
No, but he has previous boxing experience. He fought Horshack, for God's sake. He fought Horshack.
Now, what I want to happen now is I want more social media stars versus former basketball players. I want PewDiePie versus White Chocolate Jason Williams. That's what I want next.
Ooh. Who has the advantage in that, really?
What? Jason Williams. I don't think PewDiePie can throw a punch, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I bet White Chocolate
Jason throws the N-word around a lot.
Knock some people out.
Well, PewDiePie does yell the N-word a lot, apparently. That's what I've heard.
Really? He's still doing fine? He's getting away with it? Okay.
Yeah, he got like one of those, I think it was a diamond thing for like 10 million fucking views on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I hate you.
I mean, I'm aware of who he is, but I don't watch his stuff. I'm not big enough of a gamer to watch his stuff, but I'm aware of who he is. That'd be another one. How about Muggsy Bogues versus the Chocolate Rain Kid? That'd be good too.
I think Muggsy would have the reach advantage, and also
not
the athletic background.
Tay Sunday is I think it's taller than Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues is only 5'3". However, Muggsy Bogues I'm sure would be much more athletic, man. Definitely, Muggsy would definitely win that. Man, who else? I don't know. I honestly can't think of that many social media stars. Okay, how about the Fat Jew versus Big Country Bryant Reeves?
I'm down.
Brian Reeves. Yeah, Brian Reeves and the Fat Jew. I see that.
I got Brian Reeves winning by killing.
Yes. This is exactly what I want to happen. By murder. Yeah, win by murder. Big Country Brian Reeves.
And pulling that stupid goatee off of his face. Ugh. Hate that guy.
All right. Okay. No.
Yao Ming versus everyone in China.
Jeremy Lin versus Uncle Roger. That's the one I want to see. You can't even fry lies. You can't box. And that's my really bad Uncle Roger impression. So that wasn't a bad Asian person impression. It was a bad Uncle Roger impression. All right.
How about the angry video game nerd versus Tristan Thompson?
I think Tristan Thompson was the only basketball player you could remember.
No, because a lot of mine are in the 90s. Like Steve Nash.
No, you want ones in the 90s. You want Tristan Thompson's still playing. He just signed with the Celtics. So I think the Celtics. But yeah, he's gone from the Cavs now. But how about Bobby Sura? You want Bobby Sura to box somebody? Pick somebody else from okay, let's pick Logan Paul. Well, no, I don't know. Just I can't. He can box too. The thing about the Paul brothers, they can actually box a bit. So that's the one thing about the Robinson thing. Like they were setting Robinson up to kind of get killed, man. I mean, he didn't look too bad altogether, but he did get knocked out and kind of got beat up. But
he did.
I want to see Nate Robinson have some fights against some people that he could compete with, so he gets some wins. Yeah, and then people, I don't know, people still just remember the time he got knocked out by the YouTube kid.
Yeah, another, and that's one shot more for the Clevelanders out there, especially from the Paul brothers being from Westlake, Ohio. One of our favorite comedians, Schizo Bill Marty Malloy, put on his Facebook, congratulations to the least famous wrestler from Westlake High School, Jake Paul.
I thought he said from, like he was. So he was.
Oh yeah, wrestling a lot. He's now the least or second least famous, or whatever it is. Yeah, I can't remember. Marty, I love you. You're awesome. One of my favorite comics. Ended up on O&A.
Marty is very funny. I heard that thing when he was on with Bill Burr. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a legendary XM202, because it spanned the entire channel. It went from Opie and Anthony into Ron and Fez, and Ron and Fez kept it going.
This is more of a Ray's campaign to get us on Compound. That's all Ray wants on Earth, is to get us on Compound.
Nothing more, but it doesn't matter also that I will be hosting Thursday, March 4th with In Hot Water's Aaron Berg at the Funny Stop or go to funnystop.com for tickets. It's not that. I don't want to be on Compound. I actually really do want to be on Compound.
Did you call Pete as soon as you saw that he booked him?
I messaged him right as I saw the announcement.
I saw it today too, and I don't know who he is, but
he's an awesome.
When I saw he was on Compound, I'm like, oh shit, Ray's gonna freak out. I'm like, they're only booking comics for Ray now.
Hey, that'd be nice. I can work with the people I want to, have some fun, know that I'm gonna, at least possibly have cigars afterwards. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a fun time.
The better parts of going to that comedy club is you can go to Tony's Cigar Shop, Smoker's Den in Akron, Ohio.
Yes, go. It's right off of Market, or where is it off of?
I don't know. It's across from the Empire Concert Club. I found that out when they put my name in the marquee for a show I was doing there, and then Pete sends me a picture of the marquee yelling at me because my name is on the marquee for doing a show across from his brother's smoke shop. That show actually never happened, but it was funny because I put my name in the marquee, and I'm like, why did you do that? His brother's shop is across the road. He's going to be pissed. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
I'd be like, they're paying me.
They weren't, I don't think. I don't remember. Well, it never happened. It was a weird show. No, they were paying us, but they canceled it when we were there. That's what I was mad about. They didn't pay us. That's what made me mad.
Interesting. Very interesting, sir. You know what else is interesting, my friend?
I don't know. Are we going to talk about more terrible celebrity boxings?
I mean, matches? we could go always, forever, right? Because I mean, I've always wanted to see, Kristen Stewart taking on Clarissa Shields. I've wanted to see that for a long, long time.
You know what I want, man? I want Wilson and Phillips to box each other, right? From Wilson Phillips. I want that boxing match. I know there's more than two of them, but they're like one of the Wilson's daughter and like one of the Phillipses. I want to see that.
Good. Yes, I want Mackenzie Phillips to be that one. Mackenzie Phillips more than anyone.
Okay, I don't remember their names, but
one day at a time.
All I remember is I remember the song. You could do it, it was in your way. That one. I nailed it.
No, I do know a lot of it because one of my best friends, she I can tell she's drunk because she's
playing Wilson Phillips.
She starts playing Hold On for One More Day, just blaring it out of her car and just going, hold on for one more day. You're like, oh.
That's me, man. When you kind of like me, when you hear me start blaring I Want You by Savage Garden, I'm probably pretty far gone.
Yes.
I'm just like,
great song.
Anytime
I need to see your face, just close my eyes and I am taken to a place where you kiss my...
Yeah, this is really bad karaoke, Bro Plata. Something, chiricola. That's it. You ever see a group of drunk girls try to sing that song karaoke? Because it's the same thing. There's 8 of them around one microphone, and they don't know the words, so they're all trying to read it. And there's whatever girl can read the best is the only one you can hear. And then she's the one getting the words kind of right. The other one's like, and all at once is chicken cherry cola. That's the only thing they remember.
It's
I've seen that too many times, and it's hilarious. But I love that song, dude. That song's a jam.
That one and what's the Goodbye Earl? That's always that's always the drunk girl just got broke up at karaoke song.
Let's sing about murdering him. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun if we killed him?
Yeah,
that's a song about when that happened.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like I've seen that so many times at a karaoke thing where it's like Goodbye Earl is being sung like 8 times, and it's by the same 3 girls who just got broken up with last week. It's like, why? Pick something cool like the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Be more descriptive in your relationships. God damn it.
Only you know the song, right? That, and you always see a girl who's an okay singer, but not that great of a singer. She can carry a tune, but not great. She's singing Strawberry Wine for some reason.
Yeah.
That's always one they always hear. Strawberry Wine.
It's like, we get it. You're a 17-year-old slut. We understand.
That is what the song's about. The song's about getting drunk when you're 17 and picking your pants off. What the hell, man? What are these kids listening to? Oh, Ray, speaking of Savage Garden, did you ever see the video? Oh, man, we should have queued this up, or we'll get it one of these episodes.
Is it the other Savage Garden song?
Yeah, Truly Madly Deeply with the the soccer hooligans.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I don't know how I stumbled upon that, but I think I was on a Savage Garden kick and I just stumbled upon it. And I'm like, this is a bunch of soccer hooligans that they got to sing Truly Madly Deeply in soccer hooligan style, which is, them having bad accents and, not bad accents, their accents and not great teeth. And somehow they harmonize, which is always hilarious. I would be a great soccer hooligan. Never tell you that, Ray. I would be an amazing soccer hooligan.
I think you would be. And I'll tell you why.
I could harmonize.
You have the look.
Okay.
You have the crazy hair, the facial hair.
We do have that.
You definitely drink a lot. So that's always that's almost a prerequisite to being a soccer hooligan. If
that's true. You don't want to be you can be a sober soccer hooligan, but that doesn't sound fun.
You're just a mad, angry asshole at that point. Like,
he's not even drunk. That's just how he is. Yeah.
He slapped that man with a board and a nail for no reason other than he had the same kit on or a different kit on. And also you do have the tendency to just to have the anger issues, which is another plus for being a soccer hooligan.
Yeah, I've had my moments. They've gotten better. Actually, I haven't. For the most part, they're getting a lot better. But you're right. But when you say something stupid, I yell at you. But that's for the podcast, right?
Yes,
that's for entertainment value. And usually, you do often say dumb stuff, and someone has to call you on it. And it's my job. If it's not me, who else is going to do it? No one. Right?
I don't know many other MMA fans who will be willing to do a podcast. So not many.
That's a good point. We can't even get people on this thing, let alone someone to take our jobs.
Yeah, that's the one thing we do have being bad podcast talk podcast hosts. Job security all day. Nobody's gonna want to replace us. No,
well, that's true. That and we can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about it, right?
Fuck
we have weird ideas. Like, hey, how about we do this? All right. I mean, we can. Why don't we have a comic on instead of a fighter? Okay, we can do that. Why? Because it's our show. Can do whatever we want. That's fun. What are you doing now? We got to Google something?
Yeah, I'm Googling as my live thing. God damn it. I'm pulling up the fight card from this past weekend because it was epic. But let's
Google ourselves. Let's do that on the podcast.
We'd come up top billing because I know that for sure. because we're awesome like that, sir. It's let me try and find the
What are we
most.
looking for? This fight card?
Yes, sir. I'm going right to the events page
There
for
is a lot of good fights
UFC.
in this card, Ray.
I watched it today because I had a little bit of a busy Saturday. I was hosting for JJ Johnson. So I watched it this weekend or today, actually. Pretty much my entire afternoon was spent watching the fights from this past Saturday. And
I just
prelims are
rewatched a
fucking great
couple.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was supposed to be the Blades Lewis card, and that got pushed. I don't know if they give it a date yet. They're gonna try to do it later this month on one of those cards. I don't know if they give that a date yet. Maybe they'll throw it on the 19th card because the 19th, the Edwards Shemaev main event got canceled.
Yes.
Kazmat has COVID, but that card was already
No,
stacked.
it's not Hamzat. Hamzat actually did not have COVID. It's now been, and it came across the wire today that Leon Edwards actually has Rona.
It doesn't matter. One of them did. It doesn't matter. Either way, Thompson and Neal is going to be the new main event, and that's a great fight anyway. I was excited. I thought that should have been a main event. I wanted to see that fight be a 5-round fight anyway, and it looks like it's going to be. That's good. Maybe they'll throw the Lewis Blades fight on there too. That'd be fun. That said, Smith and Clark was the headliner on this one. But for the second week in a row, I think second card in a row, maybe this was a fight where the first fight of the night was probably one of the best fights of the night. That was Sanders and Manis, dude. This fight was awesome.
Yes. Oh my God. This one got me excited as a motherfucker. Because of the fact that both these guys just went ham. Luke Sanders, if you remember Luke Sanders from, I think it was a couple months ago, he just kept getting hit in the dick over and over and over again.
Yeah, we talked about that. He was the one that kept getting hit in the, yeah, that was awful.
It was sad to watch. Like my dick started to hurt after I watched Luke Sanders.
Yeah,
like,
was this the one with that one with that Russian guy who kept hitting him in the? Is that one?
It may be.
You know, it's weird. It happens so often. Like guys get hit in the dick so much that we don't know which one is which.
Felder has a dick count now. I didn't know that. He actually has a counter where he actually marks the amount of counts. That's hilarious.
I'm actually surprised I haven't made him stop doing that, to be honest with you. But it is funny. This was Nate Maness's UFC debut, I believe. I remember Luke Sanders' UFC debut, I think, kind of. It was a few years ago. I remember because he was like a late replacement back in the day. And I think he was one of those guys that he won his first fight by choke in a short notice fight and got a bonus. So he's one of those guys who, came off the street and then got a $50,000 bonus right away. And that changed your life right there as a fighter, right? That's a huge deal.
Hell yeah.
You can start working less, or depending on what your job is in your situation, maybe you can quit your day job, depending on how you live. There's a lot of factors in that, obviously. But I remember that. But then he's fighting another guy who has his debut, and Sanders looked fantastic for the first round. Most of this fight, he looked good. He was teeing off on Manis. Manis is a chin, dude.
Yeah.
At the end of that first round, he was teeing off. When Manis's back was on the cage, he was teeing off on this dude. Second round, they come out, and dude, it's the opposite. Manis drops Sanders, and then it eventually gets his back and gets the rear naked choke in. This fight was slick. It was back and forth, kind of like that last fight we saw last week with the week before with those guys the hot guy from Hong Kong. And the Koshi and the kid from Hong Kong. Anyway, this Sanders Manis fight was great. Manis got the win, and he got a bonus too. So congratulations, sir.
That he did, and Sanders looked amazing in the round that he really went at, or in the first round. Like I would have given that 10-9 even to a certain point because of the fact of how wobbled Manis was. To give it a 10-8, but fucking the chin on Manis was on display. I was very impressed by the fact that he was able to slip out of a few shots that Sanders was really going after, and for him to weather that storm and come back and finish it in a great rear naked choke was just awesome. Like he slipped that hand behind, and as soon as I saw that hand slip, I'm like, oh, it's over. Cut the lights out. Let's party. And yeah, man, it was a good fight. I enjoyed that. It deserved the bonus. It deserved a bonus for sure.
It did. And yeah, it was a great fight to begin with. But they didn't give it a fight of the night. Just Nate got the bonus. But Nate's chin, he has an iron chin. I think they said he has one loss in MMA. It was a TKO to a body shot, right? So it wasn't even him getting hit in the head, his TKO. He got hit with body shots, and that's a completely different thing. Obviously, we get hit in the liver, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, this dude is an iron chin, and is another guy I can't wait to watch fight again. And Luke Sanders too. Luke Sanders always brings it.
Yeah, Luke Sanders is a dope fighter. I'm very happy at the fact that we got a fight like this to kick off the card, because without a doubt, it's one of those insane little like, oh my God, this is going to be a party. I want to be here. This is amazing. Yay. Like every single
exactly
shot
what I said, but all right.
Well, yeah, it's what I was saying.
Since we've been doing these podcasts, I've watched every fight, every UFC fight. Oh, I mean, there's a couple I skipped, but like I told you earlier, there's one fight on this card I didn't get to, but most of them, right? Most of them. And dude, it's made me more of a fight fan than I was before. I was a fight fan to begin with, but now you know any fight can be the greatest fight you ever saw in your life, or any fight you could be the greatest finish you ever saw in your life.
Yeah,
like the Joaquin Buckley knockout a couple cards ago. Man, you never know. So like, just because you don't know the guys' names, like this whole card, just because you don't know a lot of their names doesn't mean there's not going to be badass fights. There's a lot of badass fights.
Oh,
like
hell
this
yeah.
next one. Well, this was a good finish.
Oh, dude. Sue Madaraji.
Sue
Madaraji.
Okay.
This kid is scary, very frightening at the 125 weight class.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was this his UFC debut?
No.
Okay.
No, he's had a few. He's had some losses too in the UFC, but that's the first time I remember seeing him. So it's been a minute for me.
Yeah.
He's fighting Malcolm Gordon. This guy is nuts. Malcolm Gordon. This is weird knockout because Malcolm Gordon just kind of like gave up. Like it was weird. Yeah. Like he hit him with a bunch of shots, and then Gordon's like, you know what? No, I'm done. And then he fell over. It was weird. I think he fell over in pain. It was more like pain. It looked more like, again, like a body. What happens with a body shot? You get hit, you take a step back, then you fall over. It was kind of like that, except he didn't get hit in the body, got hit in the head. I think he just realized that he was in trouble and he was definitely done. He just kind of fell over and folded over. But this Sue dude, he's long. He's like 5'8". This is a really, really big flyweight. And I was saying to you earlier, man, we were saying how shallow the flyweight division is. And honestly, maybe we just weren't paying enough attention to it because there's a lot of guys,
probably
a lot of killers in this division. There really is. I mean, yeah, there is. It's flyweight, so there's going to be less guys because this is a tough weight class for a guy to get into. But there's definitely some killers, and this guy's another one, man. Sue's definitely one of them. And he fought a tough guy in Malcolm Gordon too.
Yeah,
and he crushed him.
Oh, destroyed his ass. I was like, what the fuck? When he smacked him and Gordon just kind of went, nah, I'm good. Mm-hmm. It got weird for a minute when you just saw Madaraji just go right for him afterwards, because you're like, it's over. I mean, it's like at a bar where you get hit in the face and then you're like, what the hell just happened, man? Like where did that? He's on the floor. I know he's on the floor. That's all I see now.
He definitely pulled like a Tom Brady type of like catch him next time. Like, have you ever watched like Tom Brady when he's in the pocket? If someone touches him, he'll just fall over. That's one of the reasons he still plays, is because he just won't take shots. He'll just fall over. Like defensive linemen say he's the weirdest guy to tackle because when you put a body out on him, he just kind of gives up. But he's a quarterback, right? It's not his job to act tough, right? If he thinks he's going to get you, he's like, I'll get you next time. But it's a little bit different in fighting. But this kind of looked like what Malcolm Gordon did. He's like, all right, I'm done. You got me, bro. I'm done. I've had enough. He didn't tap out. He just kind of keeled over. But Sue is only like 24, man. He's going to be around a while. He's going to, I don't know, man. From what I saw, you're going to see this guy fight some tough dudes. I want to see him fight Brandon Royval. I think that would be a good fight. Even though Sue's not even in their top 15 yet, but he's pretty darn tough.
Yeah, and I think honestly, you'll see him shoot up with a couple more victories if he gets them. I because we've said it before, there's really not that much depth at the 125 division. I mean, we're starting to see killers emerge out of the 120 or 125 division, but to me, right now, you just have Moreno or Figueiredo, Moreno, and Garbrandt, and Roy
and Cody
Ball.
hasn't. Yeah, and Cody hasn't even fought anyone, and Perez, but Cody hasn't even fought anybody at flyweight yet, right? I see today he's talking again. He's saying March. He's expecting Figueiredo to win this next fight against Moreno, which I think most people are expecting, but they have to fight the fight first. Moreno is tough, but if Figueiredo wins, I think maybe around March-ish will be that fight with Garbrandt, but one at a time. Figueiredo has to beat Moreno, and he knows that. So, but man, I want to see Garbrandt and Figueiredo so bad, man. Ugh, such a bummer it hasn't happened already. And I hope Cody's okay. I mean, he's having bad issues with complications from COVID, where a lot of fighters get it. They can fight a couple weeks later because they don't really have symptoms, but they just test positive. But Cody had symptoms and he's had blood clots and stuff. And it's not good, man. I hope he's going to be all right. I hope we can get his gas tank back, because that seems like the biggest thing for a lot of people when they have COVID.
Yeah, it's kind of not to really put anything out there, but I do know somebody recently that has had COVID, and they're not taking it well when it comes to like their breathing and all that kind of stuff. So I can understand like why or Cody Garbrandt have it. Does he have any underlying health issues that he's dealt with his whole life, or is there anything like that?
Well, I mean, he had the kidney thing before his last
fight. Yeah.
I don't know what the deal was there, but it cleared up. I mean, he was pissing blood, but it cleared up. I think it's some kind of infection, but it cleared up. I don't know. Besides that, I don't know. I mean, I know he's had a lot of hand injuries when he was younger too. I mean, I think he got stabbed in the hand once when he was living down here.
Well, I don't. I wouldn't consider that a pre-existing condition.
No, but you were just talking about. I know he's had he had a broken hand recently. Again, he's had a couple when he was in the UFC, but he also had a couple broken hands, I think, before that.
But the kidney thing makes a lot more sense. Why he's having such a bad time already? Yeah,
maybe
with
this
COVID.
Issue. Yeah, that makes sense. I think for sure he's still having kidney issues too, which makes sense if he had kidney issues in the past.
Yeah,
which I don't think he did before this year. I think this was new this year before he fought Asunciao. Yeah. Man, I can't get all these names straight.
Yeah, but man. Yeah. It's interesting to see like how much this stuff can really affect somebody. It's kind of weird to see.
Yeah, it's scary. It's a scary disease, especially because they're saying there's weird heart stuff for people who weren't even that sick. And then I don't know, man. It's a weird disease, and people are gonna be, you're talking about effects of it for a long time. No matter when vaccines come, we're still going to be talking about this thing.
Oh yeah. I think this is going to be one of the big political footballs that's going to be thrown around for at least the next decade is COVID-19. I think honestly, you're going to see a lot more politicians talk about it especially I think not next year is next year. No, not next year. The year after is midterm elections. So you're going to have a lot of people talking about COVID-19 and what they did to do everything in political ads. I definitely will see that. I can see that happening.
It happened this year already.
Yeah, but I'm talking like where it's like we did what's right to take out COVID-19, not Bob Sanders. That kind of thing.
Well, we'll say this, man. I mean, we'll see what happens when they start distributing these vaccines. With the fact that they even have like 3 viable candidates for a vaccine that they're going to start giving to people relatively soon, that's like a miracle, man. That never happens. That was like all the brain power in the world as far as vaccines go, kind of going after one problem at the same time. And so far it looks good. I mean, I really hope it doesn't turn into an I Am Legend situation where we all get these vaccines and they, we all mutate because of them or anything. This is how horror movies start, Ray. They start. Everybody gets the vaccine and they all turn into zombies, right? That's how horror movies start. But you hope, like I said,
I'm going to Amish country if it happens.
That's fine. Before you and I, when I was in 8th grade, I got in trouble because I wrote a story in English class about Amish zombies. Anyway, I did.
Did you keep that? Please tell me it's somewhere.
It may be somewhere, but I don't know.
I want to do a table read of that fucking of that story on the show.
I got a 0 because she said I had to rewrite it because she had to write something else because she said it was being mean to Amish people, and she brought my mother in. My mother was like, why does he have to rewrite it? He already wrote the story. There's nothing wrong with the story, and I didn't rewrite one, and she gave me a 0. So, what was I saying before then? Oh yeah, okay. Other healthcare workers and at-risk people are going to get the vaccine before we do. So if there's an issue, hopefully we'll see it before we do. Okay. However, my mother's a healthcare worker, she'll get it before me. Hoping it's good. But they're saying, I know one person I'm friends with on Facebook who said they had one of them. They were in the test study, and they're good. So we hope.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if we could go to concerts in like the fall? I'd go to every one. I'd go to see Guar with you, Ray.
I was about to say, that would be one of my first concerts. And my friend Shauna, who I took to a Guar concert back in 2018, she won't go again, but she went with me the one year. And like, she has the greatest way to describe a Guar show ever, which is you never see it coming. Ever. You never see what is about to happen to you coming and getting hit in the face with that colored water right to the face. It's awesome, man. Actually, I have this now. I got a new cell phone, and this is my that's my lock screen, which is a skull version of Odorous Urungus from Guar, Dave Brockie. Because I love Dave Brockie. I think he's one of the greatest voices of a generation, to be honest with you. His songs were awful, but his characters were amazing. Songs are garbage.
I don't care for him ever since you sent me that video of him making fun of Creed. That's not funny.
Well, he's dead now, so...
Oh, is he? Okay, I feel bad now. I wasn't aware.
Died 2014, 15? And they did a Viking funeral for the character because it was kind of dope.
That's cool.
I'll send you the video of the funeral and everything because it's actually really cool. I cried when I watched it because I watched it live at my ex-girlfriend's house. So that was an interesting day. I was like in the afternoon and I just started bawling because it's like, oh, I'm Dave Brockie, oh my god. So let's go there.
That does suck. And Scott Stapp lives on. I just saw a podcast he did when he was saying that his kids make fun of him. Like the way, like, hey, Dad, can we go to McDonald's because it's always open? They do stuff like that to him. Like, that's hilarious.
I want to shake Scott Stapp's kids' hands. That's awesome.
I didn't get to shake Scott Stapp's hand. I should have. Like I told you the story. I was working as a stagehand. And he walked by me a couple times, but I didn't want to bother him because he was talking to people, and I was kind of doing stuff. I could have just really quickly been like, big fan, boom, done. I thought maybe I'd get a chance later, but I never did. But it's okay. I was around. He was there. It was fine.
What's not a big deal. What's like the one celebrity meeting that you've had where you're like, okay, this is kind of he was kind of a douche, but then you're like, oh my god, this is awesome.
I don't really understand the question. What do you mean he was kind of a douche?
Like where like society looks at like Nickelback or Creed, and people would be like, why the fuck do you want to meet that person?
Well, I mean, some of the people I met through comedy. I mean, Justin Diamond, we just talked about him. He was nice.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore was another one. I worked with Pauly Shore. That was really cool. Pauly was cool.
I want to work with Pauly Shore
about Pauly, but Pauly was cool. He talked to me. He listened to my set and he liked it. And he told me. He even referenced one of the jokes. Like he was when he talked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, he's like, I like that joke. I forget which one it was, but yeah, he was really nice. So, yeah, maybe Pauly, I guess.
My biggest, the one that people, and he's sort of had public thing that I've met where he's a douche, but he was cool when I met him, was Aaron Lewis from Sting.
Aaron Lewis.
I love Aaron Lewis. He's such a great guy. Like he's a nice guy face to face, and I got to meet him before a Stained concert back in like 2011, 12.
I saw him twice. Once was in 2012. The first was 2008, I think.
Nice.
It's been a while. But man, they're fun. I saw him the first time I saw him was at Rockin' the Range, and he's just so songs. He'd just be like, "I don't have anything cool to say." The next song, he'd be like, "I'm high as fuck." Next song. This is a brand new song. This is a brand new song. I hope you guys like this new song I just wrote. It's been a while. That's not a new song. But no, they're good. And his voice is fantastic. I'm a fan of Aaron Lewis for sure. I want to see him. Well, I mean, I would love to see Stan again, but I would love to see like just him by himself. I haven't seen him play by himself when he plays either his country stuff or acoustic. There's a lot of acoustic stuff. I'd like to see him play acoustic for sure. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I would love to see Aaron Lewis do like his live solo stuff because I've seen Stained twice myself. One was at the House of Blues. That's where I met them. And then the second one, I won free tickets from Baskin and Phelps on 92.3 The Fan to go to the Rib Burn Off. And Stained just happened to be playing the Rib Burn Off that day. And I ended up getting a free Opera Pit ticket from some rando because I was going to go like buy a new ticket or whatever. And the guy was like, "Hey, he looks like a fan." And and the guy's like, "You like Stained, man?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Do what?
He was like, "Here." And I wanted to pay the guy. And he was like, No, fucking take it. It's free. So I got to like party with my buddy Mike Faber for like the entire show, like right at the rail. So we were like, I was like, my computer, or like maybe there's a clothes hamper right behind my computer.
No one can see it. Like
I'm aware, but that's like the distance. It's like very close. It's very close.
Me to this clothes hamper that no one can see, especially if you're listening on the audio. Yeah, but even if you're not, you still can't see it. Okay, we get it. No, I saw him at big places. I saw him at Crew Stadium. For the Rockin' the Range. They were in the stadium. And then I saw them at Blossom.
Okay.
So I saw them in big places.
Second time I saw them was at Nautica. That was because they had moved. They had moved it into the power. They had moved the Rib Burn Off into the Powerhouse complex after they tore down or didn't stop using Time Warner, the cable amphitheater.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a dope ass fucking thing. Let's get to some fights, buddy.
What? Okay.
Nah. Let's talk about this one. Rachel, like Ostrovic. Yeah. Ostovic. Lost to Gina Mazzani. This was a good fight, man. Both girls are tough as fuck. Rachel, like, I was impressed by Rachel striking. She was definitely doing the classic shit of give one to take two. It was nice to see. Gina, though, just was crazy on her feet and keeping up with her. What did you think about this fight?
I was going to ask you if we watched the same fight because I think Rachel Ostovich kind of got smothered this whole fight. Like
she did, but she was able to give her striking was on point.
You're giving her too much credit because she's hot.
Because she's hot, and I want to date her.
I know, but you know what, man? Now she just fell to 4-6, man. She's about to get cut. All right. I mean, they can't keep someone around who's 4-6. Man, just saying, man. Just saying. Anyway, she. Mazzani, this is Tim Elliott's boo. This is Tim Elliott's boo, Gina Mazzani. They're engaged.
Yes,
and they're the same weight. Actually, she's probably bigger than Tim Elliott. Anyway, I want to see them spar together. That'd be fun. They're the same weight class. Anyway, Mazzani is great wrestling. Which took her down a bunch, but I think she smothered her the whole fight. She finished her at the end of the third with two front kicks to the liver. Right, she did it once, and Ostovich got up. I thought she was done after the first one. Then she hit her again, and then she did another one of those we were talking about, getting hit in the body, just kind of keel over, and that's exactly what happened. She got hit again with a front kick to the liver, and she just keeled over, and she was done.
Yeah, it was definitely Mazzani's fight. I will give that to her.
She looked great. This is her first fight down at 25 too, I believe.
I thought this was 35.
I think.
Or is this?
What does it say? You're looking at it. It's at least flyweight.
Flyweight,
right?
women's flyweight.
Okay.
Yeah, so 25. Yeah, man. Gina, I was impressed by the crispness of her combinations. Those 2 body kicks were just savage as fuck. Like really good placement with them too, hitting exactly where she needed to. Paul Felder kind of pointed it out of the liver kick where you just see the toes kind of dig into the body and it's just over after that. Who was it a couple weeks ago fell victim?
Oh man, I can't remember all the fights. I watched them all, but I just geez.
I can't remember, but there was a recent fight that ended via I think it was a pay-per-view card, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Volkov?
Might have been the Volkov.
Harris? I can't remember, man. I don't know. I mean, I saw it, but I can't remember, man. All these fights run together. But Mazzani.
It was the Volkov Harris fight. Yeah, okay. You're right.
Mazzani smothered her with her wrestling for sure. But the one thing I liked Olszewicz did, it was kind of a quick moment, but it was a cool moment. She had a really cool transition where Mazzani had her in north-south position. Rachel was on her back, and Gina was on top of her north-south. And Rachel threw her legs up, super flexible, over her head, ended up flipping over to her back.
Yeah.
You remember, that was cool. That was pretty sweet. You have to be pretty flexible to do that. Yeah, you're pretty loose hamstrings to do that. And she did that, and it was pretty sweet. I don't think I ever saw anyone do it like that before, and it's real slick. She ended up on the back. She didn't get anything from there. That would have been great if she would have been able to finish her from there, but she wasn't. But that was the coolest part of her fight, Rachel's fight. To me, was that transition. Besides that, I mean, she's definitely tough because she took a lot. I mean, I was going to say Rachel Olszewicz isn't tough, right? If you do, you're insane. She is tough, but man, she's 4-6 now. I don't know if they're going to keep her around, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she's marketable, obviously, but dude, I mean, 4-6. There's other, there's spots for, I mean, they just signed a couple 25ers from the Contender Series. I know recently, I think their last Contender Series card, they signed a 25er. So, and they say it hasn't happened yet, but it sounds like there's going to be a purge. I'm guessing, unless their monsters are going to wait till Christmas is over. So maybe beginning of the year, they're going to start purging people. So she'll definitely be on that list, I would assume, if they're really going to cut 70 people.
Yeah, I can definitely see her getting at least be on the bubble, give one more fight possibly in 2021.
Actually, I haven't checked. Have they cut her already? Well, like I said, they may not cut anybody this month because
you can't with Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas. I mean, they're not monsters, really. I mean, they try not to do stuff like that. They don't have to.
No.
I mean, we do give them crap because they're fight promotion and they do fight promotion type things, but for the most part, they try not to be too dirty.
Yeah, man. I really hope like the cuts need to happen because of the fact that 2020 was shit. It was garbage. So you're already kind of throwing yourself to the wolves.
They have lost money, so they're going to have to make cuts. It's unfortunate, but
yeah,
because they've cut 75 fighters from this roster. They're going to fight. They're going to cut people that we know. They're going to cut people that are good.
Yeah.
I mean, they just what's his name? Jusamare, the flyweight. The guy who beat Figueiredo. Yeah, they just cut him, and he's good. I mean, he had a couple losses in a row, but he's tough. And the flyweight division, they just cut him. But they told him they're about to cut 70 people, so we'll see if that's true or not. Like I said, maybe January-ish they'll start doing that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice dark cleaver coming across a lot of fighters' necks, and it's going to be a bloodbath when they do it. But I can't wait to see what they do to replace him, especially with Tough coming back and the Contender Series still being a possibility. I mean, we're gonna get stars again, and I think there's going to be a new era of star making quality in the UFC. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do cut more than 70 guys and girls from the roster because of I see Modafferi possibly going.
What Modafferi? Dude, that was the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Why?
Really?
Didn't she just lose?
She's like, no, she just won number one.
And
she did.
She's
like she's ranked number 6.
Okay.
Dude, there's no way they're gonna cut her, man. You're kidding me? I mean, she's older, but they're not gonna cut her. She won her last fight. If they did, I will shit my pants and apologize to you. But that's right now. That sounds like one of the dumbest things you've ever said. Dude, she's like top 5 or top 6.
Okay.
Jeez, man. Well, I can't believe that's of all the fighters you could have said. You said her. That's way off, man. Like I said, if I'd be very surprised if you were right. I apologize because I highly doubt it, man.
No,
I would, man. No, there's no fucking way they're gonna cut her. No way.
I could honestly see. You know who I could see the UFC signing if she gets through the PFL?
Well, who? Kayla Harrison's already getting signed, I think, but they haven't done it yet.
No, I can see if she makes enough noise in the PFL, doesn't really take any mad losses, and doesn't get embarrassed. Clarissa Shields, just based on the name alone.
Probably. Yeah, I mean they just signed Danielle Wolf not that long ago.
Okay.
And she her first MMA fight was on the Contender Series because no one would fight her. She had like 6 fights for Fallout. So the UFC is just like, well, we'll just give you a fight in the Contender Series if no one else will fight you. Which makes sense. I mean, she's such a good boxer that it doesn't surprise me that no one would fight her in MMA for a first fight. But I don't even think she won her fight on the Contender Series. It was close. I don't think she won, but they signed her. I think they would have signed her anyway. I don't know. They haven't signed anyone who's lost yet, I don't think, but I think they would have anyway. But I don't know. I'm waiting for her to get a fight in the UFC soon. She's 1-0. She's a great boxer, but she's still learning MMA. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
And another marketable one. She's another hottie, another marketable one. She was in the ESPN body issue. Right? She's like 5'11". She's a big lady, but she's tall. She's tall lady. And she's a featherweight, right?
That's a still 5'11". I like women anywhere from 5'5" to 6'5".
6'5". Holy shit! Right.
Why not? Let's go for
how many 6'5"ers have you dated? Right? How many have you even seen?
I dated 1 6'3". That was an interesting couple dates, but I liked it. It was interesting. It was fun.
Did she wear heels? She's like 6'8".
Oh, I wanted her to, but she wore flats. Yeah, I was like, come on, baby, wear some stuff that makes you look taller. She was in Amazon for those who know in that weird community. But let's talk about Anderson dos Santos and Martin Day, man. This one was a quickie. Didn't really take that long, obviously.
Yeah, it was good for a minute though. It was going back and forth until there was a scramble, and then Martin Day got up and got a huge power double leg on dos Santos. However, as he was slamming dos Santos to the ground, dos Santos grabbed his neck and didn't let go, and then he tapped him out with the guillotine.
Yep. It was a good fight when it came to good defense by dos Santos for that, because like he knew exactly where he was going and he knew exactly how to get to that choke. So I was very happy as a jiu-jitsu guy to see that. It was a nice time.
Yeah, that's one of those things, man. I mean, that's one of the most obvious thing ever is say when you're taking somebody down with a single leg or double leg, make sure you tuck your chin. But he did it, and you know what? Maybe he did going in, but when he rose up to throw him down, because he picked him up and slammed him, when he straightened up to slam him, that's when he was able to get his hand under his neck. And once he slammed him on the ground, he was already under there, and he was able to finish it from there.
Yeah, man, I loved it. I loved that the early prelims had a lot of good action in it. You couldn't look at that card and go, wow, that was a boring card for the prelims at all. A lot of them, which was awesome. But let's get to the main card now. And we start off with Jonathan Pierce taking on Kai Kamakamakaya the third. And Jonathan, the story of this fight was about one guy, and it was about Jonathan Pierce. He looked amazing. One of my notes that I took during this was, I need more of this in round 2. Like the action that both of these guys showed throughout round 1 and 2 before Pierce got the TKO was awesome. Like, this is exactly what I want from the featherweight division, man. Like, this is they both just went at it for 2 rounds, and obviously Pierce getting the TKO after flattening out Kamaka. He had nowhere to go, dude.
Right, he got his back, and then you're right. He flattened him out, and he kept beating him up from there, and they eventually stopped the fight. That's how he got the TKO. But yeah, you're right. It was a great fight. First 2 rounds, and then eventually, yeah, Pierce ended up getting his back and smothering him and finishing him that way.
Yeah, it was Pierce showed. I'm a fan of Pierce now. And it's kind of funny.
Oh, for sure.
I think it was my second round commentary. Pierce until round 148 left, it is a beast, because at that point Kamaka had taken ground game or gotten a takedown on Pierce, but Pierce ended up taking his back and flattening him out, going towards the middle of the second round. But dude, I will say this. If I can remember his name, Jonathan Pierce is just a savage on the ground. Like, I was very impressed by his defense, and his ability to scramble and get into advantageous positions was kind of nice to see. And for him to get a flatten out victory like that was awesome. I liked it.
Yeah, this is first win since last year in July. Before then,
he lost to Joe Lozon, I think.
Yeah, Joe Lozon. I was about to say that. Yeah. That was last year. But anyway, he looked great Saturday. So here's your boo.
Okay. I want to talk about this girl, Ashley Evans Smith. I know you have a husband. I understand it, ma'am, but I need to say this. You are the hottest UFC fighter on the planet Earth.
Really? This is your pick for the hottest one? I think you're way off, bro. Way off.
To use a local New Philly Dover reference, she's white trash enough where she is a Dover 10. Like, she looks like the girl you go to the bar.
I want to give you shit for that, but the thing is, you're right. Like, yeah, no, this is the queen of Yorksville, Ohio, right here. She would be like, but here she'd also have like 8 kids with 9 different dudes, right? But she would still be a 10, because this is how things are down here. I like the tats. I love her tats, but it was weird that she had like 8 shades darker tan than the Brazilian girl she was fighting, and it was kind of red looking. It was a little weird. And what's going on with her eyelashes, man?
There's nothing wrong with her eyebrows. Those are
her eyelashes. Her eyelashes for a fighter. The
eyelashes. I'm used to those. But
not on a fighter, man. It was very strange looking. I will say this: Ashley Evans Smith, who did not win this fight, however. Dude, she gets like the ultimate tip of the cap from me as far as female fighters. She did, the biggest win of her career, without a doubt. People are going to always remember she beat Fallon Fox.
Yes.
And she knew that Fallon Fox was a transgender when she fought her, and still fought her and beat her. So hats off to Ashley Evans Smith. That she's all good, good for her. No matter what she does in the rest of her career, she beat Fallon Fox. She beat a transgender person who before that did not say that she used to be a man, but she told Ashley Evans Smith, and she said, I'll still fight her, and she beat her. So good for her. With her wrestling, because he is a solid wrestler. One of her problems in this fight, though, is she didn't use her wrestling great, I don't think. Also, there's a part where she did a hip toss, and she wasn't able to get the full big throw on the hip toss like you see Ronda Rousey get, or like our buddy Andrew Law gets that big torque on those hip tosses. She just kind of was able to turn and fall over with the hip toss instead of actually throw her over. But as soon as she did that, she didn't know how to land it properly, because Dumont was able to just scramble and get on top of her right away. And that was the big part of that second round where she beat her up a lot. The big part of that second round was right after that takedown. So that wasn't a great transition for Evan Smith.
Nothing against Norma Dumont here, because Norma Dumont deserves praise for the fight that she had. Her striking and combinations, I always say this on this show, I love striking and combinations, were awesome. Like, she had some of the best, and what was awesome was you would see her throw like a 2-punch combination, pull back, let Ashley Evans Smith miss a couple, and then come in just for an extra bonus, if you will, like on her striking. So I'm not taking anything away from Norma Dumont on this, but apparently 8 months ago, Ashley Evans Smith got like accused of stealing stuff
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So and even like Paul Felder said that she had some stuff on her mind and that she wouldn't want to talk about it until the after the fight and all that. And she did look a little hesitant, like there might have been an injury somewhere, and that was hindering her wrestling. But Norma Dumont, man, like she just had the entire package that night.
Do you know what they accused her of stealing?
It was like a medical pack or something.
No, it was masks and gloves.
Interesting.
You know, people that work at hospitals I know that come home with masks and gloves.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm gonna say none. I don't know any. All right.
Yeah,
off the hook.
That
was strange.
Was strange. But I mean, it can still fuck with a fighter's head, with all the accusations. Yeah, stuff like that.
People give her mad shit for it.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever, man. Whatever.
I will say this: I had Ashley or Norma winning all 3 rounds. They actually gave her a 30-26, which is apropos for this fight because she just dominated the entire time. Do you think the referee or do you think the judges got it right on that 30-26?
Is that what it was? 30-26? I didn't listen to
30-26. I had 30-27 at the end of the fight.
I don't know which. I just watched it, but I don't know which round they would have gave her the 10-8. I don't know, but she definitely won all 3 rounds. So I don't.
Very. I have two things on this fight too. One is actually not even about the fight, but it's a thing about the fight. The first one we're gonna do. Ashley Dumont missed weight by 4.5 pounds. She came in.
I forgot about that. Yeah, this is her first fight at bantamweight too, right? And she missed, so that's not great. If you're moving down a class and you can't make weight, yeah, it's not great.
And also I have to real quick shout out to our referee for this fight, Jason Herzog.
Oh yeah,
for making sure Norma Dumont didn't come up and flash everybody at the Apex, because he saw the sports bra starting to rise up.
He stopped the fight to pull her kit down. He saw her tan line too. No, that's not what I'm not saying that. I'm saying my point is that you could tell it was going up because you could see where her tan line was. Well, and he stopped the fight whether on the ground just to pull it down. So good for him.
Yeah, it was great. This whole card had great refereeing. From
Teone wasn't on this card, was he? Oh,
no.
Man.
If I remember correctly, you had Mark Smith, Herb Dean, Jason Herzog, and Big Dan Murgliata were your referee corps for this.
Those are superstars, man. Those are all like
legends.
Top 4.
If you would have had
Gardner up there too.
I was about to say, you have to put alcohol and cigarettes in there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Keith Peterson. No nonsense, Keith Peterson.
Alcohol and cigarettes is the greatest referee I have ever seen, man. Besides Big John McCarthy, he is the god of referees, dude.
I still think if they had a battle royale of all the referees, that Keith Peterson would beat them all. I think he would just fight dirty. He'd be ripping off heads. He'd have a knife. He'd have a shank, probably.
Yeah, come here, motherfucker. Sounds like Joey Diaz when he goes in.
Well, when are you going to get that ref back on, man? You got to get a hold of him again.
I'm going to get a hold of him probably tomorrow. Set up something.
You said that weeks ago.
I'm aware.
And probably last week too.
Depression, sir.
All right, this is the one. I know how that goes. This is the one that I didn't watch. I didn't watch Algeo and Carlisle.
Yeah, let's. I'll talk about this one since I did watch it. Take notes. Spike Carlisle versus Al, and I have it pronounced at the top of my page as a Lego, like an asshole. You can tell I was smoking weed while I was watching this fight. Algeo, referee is Herb Dean. First,
did you write down the referee of the fight? Did you write down the referee is Herb Dean?
Yes, I did. I actually wrote down every referee. Too? What?
Did you write down the names of the judges and Joe A. Martinez?
No. And actually, before we get into this, I'm going to put because this is the second question I had. How do you feel about Joe Martinez?
I love him.
Okay.
I think he's fantastic. I love him. I agree. I mean, Bruce Buffer is the man, but if Bruce Buffer ever retired, I'd be bummed out by about this much just because I know who's in the wings, right? Their number 2 guy, Joe A. Martinez, has such a smooth voice, man. He's so
Yes, he
slick and he's
does.
so smooth, and he can pronounce everything correctly. You know, he pronounces all the Hispanic town names and names with a little flair on there. Unlike Bruce Buffer doesn't really do it like that, but he does, and he obviously does it naturally. And he has such a smooth voice. I love Joey Martinez. Joey Martinez is one of the best up there, and he's the number 2 guy in the UFC, but he's still one of the best.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe Martinez. There's very few. We've talked about.
He's quick. He's to the point. Boom, 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 done. But he's so slick and he's so clear. He's awesome. He's great.
And a lot of times his platitudes about the fighters are wonderful. Where he'll be like, "The pride of Curitiba, Brazil."
Yeah, he's so slick, man. I mean, he's probably my second favorite, really, for MMA. I put him over against. I like Michael Williams, but I'd probably go Joey Martinez before Michael Williams.
Michael Williams is the guy from Bellator, yeah?
Yeah, and the guy from PFL who used to work for NAFS, whose name I can't remember. But
God, somebody make some noise.
Yeah, he's fine. He's good, but he doesn't have that nice big baritone that Martinez has. I like a big, good baritone. He does. But I look at a good baritone with my ring announcers, and Joey Martinez is smooth as silk, man. Another guy, I bet he can sing.
Probably. More than likely. I would say so. I like Joe Martinez's style.
And a non-white guy. That's nice, right? Because most of these guys, not only are they men, but most of them are white guys. So it's nice to have like someone who's just not a white guy. What? I'm being serious. What? I want diversity. I love that Lynn Hart.
It should be about the skill and not the color of their skin, sir.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. He got the chance, right? Because I'm sure there's people that
deserves it.
Yeah, and he does. He got a shot to do it with a lot of, even locally. I see it's all white dudes I see doing this, right? And yeah, not everywhere, of course, but it made sense what I said. All right, you made it weird by making it weird.
I'm sad that there aren't any like Barry White voiced black dudes.
Like a 60-year-old black dude, yeah.
Not even whoever has like a voice like, "Hey, baby, we're about to get this."
Well, we know one dude. When we had a wrestling comedy show back in the day at Buzzman, it was a great idea, but it was executed poorly because we just did all improv and we didn't really know what we were doing. But it was fun for us. But it was a weird show. We hit a guy at the chair. It was fun. Anyway, we had Willis Gordon be our announcer, and we called him the third Buffer brother. We called him Skit Buffer. But he is one of those voices. Music. I don't think he does comedy anymore, but musician. I call him activist. I believe he is the president of the Stark County NAACP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the acting, but
for him.
He just got elected, I believe. I think that's true.
Good
he had an election up. I think he won. Yeah, he was.
That's
acting,
awesome.
I think. Yeah, Willis is great. I love Willis, but yeah, he has one of those voices for sure.
Willis Gordon. I have one of my funniest moments at the Eurogyro involves Willis Gordon and Al Sawyer. And it was we were all dancing to "My Girl" by the Temptations.
Oh, that's what a comedy open mic is supposed to be about.
Yes.
We all get drunk and then we all tell dumb dick jokes and then we dance to "My Girl." That's a night. That's a party.
And for a white dude, I'm gonna say this. I actually have decent rhythm. Not the greatest, but I can do the sideways. I got sunshine.
Well, Ray, so do I. We're gonna have a dance off one of these days.
You'll beat me probably. I'm whiter than white bread when it comes to like my rhythm. I've got a little bit, but I can't do much.
I got some rhythm.
But it was funny because Al was just completely going off the like he was not because who Al has no rhythm of life. Like he is
Al Sawyer can best be described as Al Sawyer.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great. He's a great dude. And he's made me laugh so hard on multiple occasions, dude.
Oh yeah.
When that guy has his sets are on, he's very funny. And I love Al. He's great. But the only guy you can explain him as, he's just Al. You have to meet the guy. I don't know how to explain him any other way.
And how
thing too. I mean, that's
what's that?
That's a positive thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He's a lovable human being, an awesome guy. Salt of the earth. We've known him for a long time, but he can't dance. He cannot dance. What fucking lick?
That doesn't surprise me.
And I look over and I see him just out of rhythm with like these 4 black dudes and myself. And I look at him like, I'm whiter than you. How do I have more rhythm? Like, where did this? And fucking Willis Gordon just bust out fucking laughing. And when I broke Willis, I was like, okay, sweet. I know I can hang in Ken comedy if I break fucking Willis anytime. So I love Willis Gordon. Go check him out. His music's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing comedy anymore, which is a bummer because he was good at it. And I haven't seen him in a long time. Actually, seen him in like 4 years, I think. So, actually, the last time I saw him was the last time I got my hair
comments every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see him play music, but obviously COVID isn't happening as much, and he's doing like some more important stuff, which is pretty cool. So,
Hi,
Willis.
Hi, Willis. You're amazing. Go follow Willis Gordon. He's fucking dope. I want to talk about this fight. And I'm going to go round by round on this fight with my notes because there's not many.
You didn't do it already? All right, hurry up.
No, sir. Referee Herb Dean. I'm going to say this. I despise cornrows on a white guy. I don't think that a white man should wear that shit. It looks goofy as fuck. Shout out to Andrew Law.
Just say, what about long hair? Because if you're a fighter, fine. That's the thing. But if you're a fighter with long hair, you got to get it out of your face. And dude, we talk about Andrew Law. Dude, it's weird. I never seen anybody in the UFC have problems with their hair. Andrew has always had problems with his hair. He hasn't found anyone to be able to braid it correctly or row him, whatever. The last time he got it done, it was someone who said they know what they were doing, and they got pulled out in the middle of his fight. Granted, he did go 5 rounds, but you see all these ladies who fight in the UFC, they grapple hard, whatever. Their hair does not come out. They need to find somebody. He needs to find somebody who can do his hair correctly.
Mm-hmm. I might know a few people. I can get him in contact.
It's a little different. Well, that's the thing. The person who did his hair, it looked fantastic. She did like the spider and whatever thing, and then he had his braids. It was tight. He thought it was going to hold, but it didn't hold. So I think it's like a special kind of braiding for fighting that it's like super, super hard, man. I mean, so the thing is, cornrows will stay in. So yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to give him crap because you got to get the hair to stay. All right. They don't look great, but Andrew Law didn't look great with the braids compared to his long hair, but you got to get that stuff to stay. Right. And he's done man buns a bunch of times, but it always gets pulled out. So you got to do what you got to do, Spike Carlisle. It's good.
And then, like, another thing that this is before he started barking. He started barking in the first round at Algeo, like he was at like a bar fight on or in University Heights. Just like, yeah, man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And to me, Spike looks like a guy, or looks like he says "nah mean" way too many times in a day. Like, he looks ghetto as fuck. Then here's something though for Carlisle in the positive in round 1. He did get a bulldog choke towards the end of the round, and I'm gonna have to say, Bill Algio's neck must be made out of fucking granite because you could hear Spike just really putting in like the pressure, and Algio was just keeping calm right off of where he needed to be. Round ended, they went in. I gave first round to Carlisle just based off of the choke attempt. And then it was nothing but Algio for 3 rounds because Carlisle obviously
2 rounds.
For 3 rounds, yeah, or no, for 2 rounds,
right? So I said,
and then there's times where Algio pulled off an amazing body triangle. His second round was definitely all Algio in this one. And then somebody in I don't know whose corner just started yelling out Iranian, and I didn't know what that meant. I felt kind of weird. Well,
they have code words and stuff, right? So
I'm aware, but I want to know what that meant.
That's what man. That's what I think is great. I want to be either a football coach or like maybe a cornerman that make up some cool audibles, or just like weird names or whatever. I think the Rams have audibles. It's like Obama. Oh, a couple years ago, it went viral because they had one that was Halle Berry. It was Halle Berry check, Halle Berry. Yeah.
What was Omaha was the famous one for
Yeah.
Peyton Manning. Omaha, Omaha.
Right.
Uh, it's interesting when guys throw out code words, but yeah, I mean, this was third round was kind of like just boring. After the back and forth that Algio and Carlisle had for 1 and 2. But yeah, Carlisle lost that fight, and it was Algio all day, which was a good fight. This is a fight I wanted to talk about because
let's talk about this beef.
It's not the beef. It's beefy boy battle. It's a different thing, sir. These two sexily beefy boys went at it. And probably, I'm sad this didn't get at least a performance of the night.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Dana White said he was going to be writing checks because I don't know how often they do that because there's some good fights. And if he was throwing guys maybe an extra 10, extra 20, if they do that, then these guys definitely deserve an extra 10 or 20 each, whatever. A little bit, little something, because they had a great fight. I mean, you know what? This is one thing that I was thinking about during this fight. People give crap to the heavyweights because a lot of these heavyweights nowadays, they have extra beef on them, right? And they're like, dude, how can you come on, you got to lose that weight, right? I'm like, listen, man, you know how much, dude, I will tell you, the best shape I was ever in my life is what I fought. And after a round and a half, I was done, right? And I was 179 pounds, 180 pounds then, right?
Wow.
These guys had a 3-round fight, right? And the kind of condition you have to be in to do that. These guys, obviously, my point is, these guys obviously work out every single day.
Yeah.
Hard. Every day, right? And their diets are probably pretty decent. I mean, they eat, but still, I mean, my point is, if you just have a heavyweight body, you're just a heavyweight, bro. Like, if you're a heavyweight, you're just a heavyweight. That's how it is, man. Guys like that, like I said, it's not like these guys aren't working out constantly. They are, and they still have beef. They're just big, beefy dudes, all right? They're just going to be, all right? And both of these guys had the cut, I believe, to make 265. Yeah. They're just big dudes, all right? So don't give them crap. Don't call them fat because they're doing everything they can pretty much. But they have to stay
I'm not saying they're fat.
Time.
I just love a beefy boy battle where there's man tits involved. Like, it's a good time.
There's that one guy who fought a couple weeks ago, man. That guy was dead. I forget his name, but that guy's like for sure. I mean, he looked like me with my shirt off. Like, but anyway. These guys went at it for a long time. The third round, like with some heavyweights, was a little slow because they got tired, but it was still a badass fight. Parker Porter got this win, but dude, Josh Parisian is going to be around for a minute too. He just got out contract on Contender Series. This is his first fight in the UFC, I believe. He's tough. These guys are both tough. This fight was great. There's back and forth. I mean, Porter definitely won the fight, but it was definitely, I think one judge gave it a 29-28, but it was definitely a fun fight. For sure. They threw bombs at each other, man. It's great.
Oh, they beat the piss out of each other for fucking 15 minutes. And this is probably one of my favorite heavyweight fights of the year. I put this up there with DC versus Stipe 2 or 3. In terms of action, you could definitely tell. I started calling Josh Parisian Tall Action Brunson. Because he kind of looked like Action Brunson, but like a wild first round. Both guys were throwing heat at each other the entire time, and you can tell Parisian's gas tank is he needs to work on that a little bit, but it's heavyweight, so I mean you can slap a dude and fucking put him on his ass. So
but you say that, but there is also a lot of times those things go to distance, man. You know, there's been a lot of 5-round heavyweight fights, man. And they've been able to do it, man. I thought very possibly if the Lewis Blades fight happened, or when it does happen, it's not impossible. I think if Blades wins that fight, Blades wins by decision. We'll talk about that when it happens. But
I can see that.
Although, man,
I did like the dueling leg kicks from heavyweights.
That's good. It's always good. So that's good. That's always good. They're athletic guys.
First round, this is something I was watching this with intent. The first question that I asked myself was, what tee time do these guys have for swings like this? Like, Jesus Christ. It's amazing. No, because they were teeing off on each other for that first round.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking for a show bomb. I was looking for an observation, sir.
Yeah, but show bomb. Yeah, Schulbaum.
Showbomb.
We need a sound effect. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. They were throwing hard at each other. That was true.
There was a cup shot in the third round that made me feel bad for my own testicles because if I would have gotten hit by any one of them, did you hear the ricochet off of that cup shot?
Probably. I just don't remember.
It sounded like blunt plastic. Like just it sounded like somebody just hit somebody's fucking head with a baseball bat. And it was a knee. I believe it was a knee up the middle, which we've said on the show always is fucking stupid. We don't like them because of the fact that a lot of cup shots do happen that way.
We're not talking to enough fighters about that, man. I should have asked George about that. I should have asked Andrew about that. They'll both be on again probably, but I just always forget. But yeah, that's something we definitely, because I think we did talk to Drew Schonheimer about that because he was talking about his last fight and he had a lot of cup shots. But yeah, sometimes when they're in the clinch, I'm like, why do you even go up the middle? Because if you hit him in the abdomen, your shin's very possibly still going to hit the cup area or darn close to it. So I don't quite understand that. Yeah, I mean, there's other things you can do there. I don't quite get it. I don't know.
Neither do I, my friend. And it's interesting when it does land and you don't have a cup shot. Because that means that guy really did understand the distance a lot more than he should have.
Right, and it's harder when
he should have, but he was at that
fight third round. Yeah, end around third round, you're hanging on a guy. You're maybe not thinking about that as much, and you don't. It's a little harder to get up to the abdomen when you're more tired, right? So that's when you see that happen more is in the later rounds, but still, yeah. So it's a weird shot. I don't really know why they even throw it that much. I don't know.
But yeah, Parker Porter is now one of my favorite new fighters. I like his caliper tattoo because I used to be a machinist, so that was an interesting tattoo to have. Let's move on.
I was going to say this quickly. You realize like heavyweights are kind of like knuckleball pitchers. Like it seems like heavyweights, a lot of them like they get better when they're older, man. Like they don't really start. I mean, even Francis Ngannou's in this, he's like 34, 30, I forget. But Blades is in his 30s. Most of these guys are in their 30s. Even these guys are both in their 30s, I think, and they're new. Porter's not, but Parisian is. So I think number one, we do say they stick around longer because of the depth in the heavyweight division or whatever else, and they don't cut as much weight or whatever. But also, it just seems like that. Like I said, like knuckleball pitchers, it seems like it takes them till their 30s so they really start getting going.
Yeah,
most of the heavyweights are over 30.
It is interesting, and I think
30 isn't old, but
no. But in fighting terms, I mean, it can be very old depending on the sport that you're in. Without a doubt, heavyweights are different, I think, because they just take less damage, even though they get knocked out more.
It only takes one punch instead of 12. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's talk about this fight because this one ended very quickly. Miguel Baeza taking on Takashi Sato. Referee for this one, Bergdan Mergliata. What did you think about this fight?
Baez is a beast, dude. His last fight was that win against Matt Brown where he knocked out Matt Brown. This is his first main card fight, and the dude did great, man. He teed off on this dude, and then he got that second round. He got that really slick arm triangle that started out. He was on his back when he started out. Then Sato kind of rolled to his side, so he's on his back, his side, and then Baeza was able to transition him to his back and able to get that arm. What ended up being like a traditional arm triangle choke. However, where he started from wasn't a traditional spot. It was a weird. As I said, he started from his back. And he ended up getting a arm triangle choke. He kind of switched him around. It was really slick. But it was his first submission win because usually he just starches people. And this is a young dude who's gonna be a star. How old is he? 28.
I think
he's gonna be a star in this division. What is welterweight? This is welterweight. Yeah, because he fought Matt Brown. And Dana White likes him because he's Puerto Rican. This is what he said. It wasn't as funny as what he said a couple weeks ago in the Contender Series, but he said he can't wait to when he can have fights in New York again, so we can have this guy fight in New York City because they're gonna love him in New York City. So what he means is there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York City, which he's right. He's right.
Seinfeld did an episode about it.
Right. That's not untrue. But it was not nearly as funny as when he said that all of his lawyers are going to love the guy from Israel. That was much funnier. Because we knew what he was saying. But also, again, he's probably right. He's probably stating a fact. But, we read between the lines. You're like, okay, all right. We know what you're saying. All your lawyers are Jewish. All right, that's fine. They probably are.
A lot of yarmulkes will be happy.
Very possible. Also not true. It's just funny the way he said it. I don't think he got canceled for it or anything. Maybe no one paid attention.
No, Dana White, any fight promoter, in my opinion, can't really be held accountable for what they
anything they say. No,
because they deal with so many international like people and all this kind of stuff that they're well-traveled, worldly people otherwise. So I mean,
well, in boxing, they're all like old dudes who you were in the part of the mafia at some point, right? So he's like, it's kind of like your grandparents. Like that's just come on. You bring out certain things, you know what kind of answer you're gonna get. But yeah, maybe that's the way with some fight promoter. It shouldn't be that way, but
it's just how it is, man. I mean, it's.
Well, Dana White doesn't give a fuck. He's showed that for many years.
I need to talk about the main event because I gotta say, even though Devin Clark, it seems like a very good guy, very tough guy. I mean, he was facing Anthony Smith, so they may have thought more about him.
Well, he came off a really good win. What was the guy he fought?
He lost his mother-in-law recently, from what I've heard as well.
Yeah, they said that. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Well, I'll give my opinion on this fight right off the rip, just because.
Real quick, Alonzo Meadowfield. Alonzo Meadowfield is a beast, right? So he fought, and he went Daquan Townsend before then. Okay, so he's beat a couple beasts, right? So they're gonna get, he's up and coming. They're gonna give him a guy in Smith who's had a couple tough losses. So this fight made sense.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Anthony Smith, for the fights that he has had recently, looked like he was on the warpath for this fight. I've never seen this in the UFC. I've seen this in gyms, and it makes me happy as a motherfucker that this guy did this. Clark got him in sort of like a weird backside control kind of position, and thought he had control. And Anthony Smith, like a fucking junkyard pit bull with a stake, just dragged him to the center of the octagon and made it look simply easy. I respect Anthony Smith for his ground game after this fight, because he showed that he can be a complete and utter savage when he wants to be. And it's nice to see him get a win like this that made it look kind of simple, quick, over the point, like he still belongs in the light heavyweight division. So it was definitely a good fight for Anthony Smith. You can definitely tell Clark's mind was definitely on the loss of his family member.
I'm not going to call that. I just think Smith just outclassed him. I'm not going to say that's true. I mean, just because it happened doesn't mean that's not fair to say that. I don't think.
I'm being nice.
You're not being.
I think I'm being nice at that.
I think you're being the opposite of nice. I mean, I think
not really, because
I'd say he was ready to go and ready to fight 100%. Just Anthony Smith was the better fighter. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, and I can definitely agree with your sentiment there for sure. I'm not saying I invalidate it, but I'm just saying from an athlete standpoint.
No, I think we're both trying to be nice, but saying it in different ways. Like you're trying to say nice by giving it like a kind of an excuse, but I say no, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. That's not why he lost. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that Anthony Smith did well. Like that's not gonna bother him. Like that's not gonna bother. I mean, of course a bit, but like, it's not gonna. You don't know the guy. You don't know how it's gonna bother him. But I'm sure it's a bummer. But he was ready to go. He's professional. That's the best way to say that, right? It's okay. They're professionals. You're gonna be professional, right? He showed up. So. He fought, and he took a 5-round fight on like 2 days' notice, right? They both got a little extra money for that, even though it didn't really matter. But hats off to Anthony Smith for he's been around so long. This is his 50th fight, I think. He said basically saying, I know I have the best advantage on the ground against this guy. I'm much better on the ground than he is compared to where I am anywhere else. So I'm going to take him down. Yeah. And I'm going to beat him that way. And that's what he did, man. And he showed it, man. He showed he has the jiu-jitsu advantage, and he did. He took him down a couple times, and he ended up getting a really slick triangle choke. Anthony Smith's around forever. Of course, he's good at everything. So, yeah, he just showed it against Devin Clark. And he's around, man. He's still here. Good for him, man.
my buddy John got mad that Anthony Johnson again. I go to that one because I've seen him live. Probably that's why I have him in my head. Anthony Smith did. He was kind of mad that Anthony Smith didn't come out to Return to the Mac this time.
You know what? I was also bummed out by that, man. There was one guy, I think it may have been Shan Manis, that came out to Come Down by Bush. I like that. Or maybe it was Sanders. That fight. I don't know which one it was. One of those two guys. But yeah, he didn't come out to Return to the Mac. That bummed me out. Because I like when he comes out to that. That's a good tune, man.
A Return of the Mac. Yeah, it does happen. But I like the fact that he switched it up. I think it kind of because he's lost every time he's used Return to the Mac.
That makes sense, man. If a song loses, you can absolutely change the song. That's fine.
For fucking sure, brother.
There's a couple guys that have songs though you don't want them to change. Like Uriah Faber will always be California Love. Chael Sonnen was always Too Much Fun.
Yes,
it was good. Zombie always.
Yeah.
Wonder Boy always comes out to Wonder Boy, but Tenacious D, which is I love it. It's great.
What is the secret of your power?
Dude, when I saw them, they didn't play Wonder Boy. It really bummed me out.
They didn't play Wonder Boy live?
I think what it was going to be their second encore, and we only gave them one. After the first encore, everyone just left. I'm like, keep going. They'll do another one. And they didn't. I think they were waiting, and they didn't play Wonder Boy. So it was our fault. It was our fault as an audience. We didn't get Wonder Boy.
My favorite one that's on a regular basis would probably be DC's. I like DC's one right above it by Lil Wayne and is it Drake? I think it's Drake, but it's the one was to tell your friend that it's time to go or whatever it is. I don't know.
I don't know,
but it's definitely they're fun. I love entrance music, and I like when certain guys change it up. Like you said, I will say this: one of the coolest moments of my life as an MMA fan was actually seeing Uriah Faber at UFC 203 in Cleveland come out to California Love.
Yeah, so you should hear the auto tune that California. That'd been great.
I flipped. I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's fucking Uriah Faber.
That's one thing that's really cool about having the song used every time. When you hear it come, you're waiting for it, right? You know Uriah's up next, right? You're just waiting. You're sitting there. When are they going to play? When are they going to play it, right? I'm assuming because
it was like that.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden you just hear California Love, right? And and everyone's like, right? That would have been great.
He came out. He came out first, if I remember correctly. And because they did like the Jimmy Rivera, he's a great fighter, blah 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 blah, and all of a sudden you hear California, and you're like, yes, we about to see a legend lose. What up?
Tell you what, man, I'm not a huge hip hop fan. I like the stuff I like. Like I don't know how to explain that. Like some Eminem I like, some Eminem I don't. Some Jay-Z I like, some Jay-Z. Right? It's just whatever. I like the ones I like. But I don't like a ton. But California Love is a great song. I think mostly because I just love that what do they call it? The beat, but it's the instrumental. Yes.
It's one of the best backtracks to a song ever. I'm trying to think. Oh no. Stipe. I always like Stipe's, even though it's MGK.
What did MGK make him a song?
No. He actually wrote a song called "Till I Die," which is about Cleveland. Okay. And then Stipe kind of co-opted it, made it his own. Okay. And I mean, he's wrote it to championships, so I love him for it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch. And that one, I will say, in an arena packed with people, it hits you hard.
Oh, I bet, man. Because it's especially at the Q. Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Oh,
the only reason I didn't go to that fight because I didn't have any money. That's why I want fights to come back. So I want fights to come back because I want to see some darn fights.
I had a job at the time. I was working for a major pest control company, so I was decently happy with my life. And I got to go to that event, and to this day, one of the coolest, because it's the stars. It was Cleveland's like, if you look at that card, it's a monumentally stacked card. of all time of UFC cards when it comes to star power. Who was on that? Betch Correa versus Jessica I. Jimmy Rivera taking on Uriah Faber. I'm trying
CM
to
Punk.
CM Punk versus Mickey Gall.
That I
Matt
saw.
Brown or not Matt Brown. Travis Brown.
I can't remember.
Travis Brown.
I was just say I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I saw the headline that said that CM Punk was really lucky that he didn't get Nate Robinson. I'm like, oh yeah, he actually was, man. I mean, you know, he's just in MMA, and Mickey Gall took him down and choked him out, and the other guy kind of, I don't know what he did. He looked like he carried him. Really, it didn't. It was a strange fight. He just tried to kickbox him, but it was weird. Anyway, but yeah, he got lucky. He didn't get starched. It could have been bad.
If CM Punk would have gotten knocked out by Mickey Gall at UFC 203, yeah, I don't know what I would have done at that. I probably would have just gone and smoked a cigarette out in the smoking area, the queue.
You know why he didn't? Because he didn't want to. He didn't want to knock him out. That's why. He could have. Absolutely. Mickey Gall's tough.
Oh, yeah, man. And that's like, I remember being in my seat and standing up, waiting for that first shot to be thrown, and then all of a sudden you just hear, that was it.
When he got taken down,
yeah, you could hear a fucking pin drop in that building, and I find it ironic the fact that I was there on the night he left WWE in the queue. It was the Royal Rumble right after 2014, right after he had lost, or right after the Royal Rumble, and he had walked out that night. And then 3 years later, I'm seeing him fight at the Quicken Loans Arena in his UFC debut in the same place he left the WWE. It's an insane story. That's a story like you look at in sports history is just like, that's fucking weird. And how did he get away with that?
I still want to see CM Punk versus Andrew Law. That's what I want to see.
I'll book that. I'll book it.
I think about it, like if Andrew doesn't beat him like convincingly, it'd be a loss. Like he should destroy him, and I think he would. But
I mean, I have contacts. I can possibly make that happen.
Well, you're talking about 0-2 versus 11-5. That shouldn't even be. They wouldn't let that happen in Ohio.
Punk. It's CM.
They wouldn't let it happen in Ohio. They wouldn't let it happen.
Palm enough, and people will look at that fight and go, "Yeah, you spend a little cash."
Tickets. I sold tickets if CM Punk needed some money. I would say he wouldn't need any money, but he was a wrestler, so maybe you wouldn't think so. But you don't know about this wrestlers, man. You know.
I think he's invested it smartly enough in CM Punk.
You'd hope so.
Plus, he has a T-shirt shop that he still has where he sells stuff and he sells merch and everything. I will say this, and we'll end on this. I've gotten a new obsession, Timothy.
No, it's a more weird fetish porn. I don't want to hear about it.
No. That those porn choices will never be surpassed by anything else. I'm playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Okay.
And I'm doing it with a controller on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went on a 4-game winning streak just by having the controller. I was like straight up G'ing everybody in like the room that I was and finished first each time. I felt kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. You should join me sometime for a session.
Nope.
Aw,
I don't play that. I don't like those games, man.
Really?
Not really.
They're okay. I mean, I'm gonna play it after the podcast is over anyway. But yeah, man, I love those games. I don't know why. I downloaded PUBG. They don't allow you to use a controller on the mobile version, which sucks. I think that's stupid. But Call of Duty on mobile is actually a pretty fun game. I'm not gonna lie, because I win, so it's a good game.
I got my niece a Sega Genesis Mini for Christmas, and I have one, but I have like the 2016 version. This is the 2020 version. I got her, and she has better games on hers than I have on mine for sure. It's much better. Like I got mine because you can play cartridges on it. You can't play carts on that one, but it has better games. And I gave it to her yesterday because I went over there and she wanted me to bring the Genesis. And I'm like, I just bought you one. It's in the closet. I'll just give it to you now. But she has like Earthworm Jim on there. Earthworm Jim's fun, man. I wish I had an Earthworm Jim.
Oh, I loved Earthworm Jim as a kid. It was one of my favorite cartoons.
Yeah. I remember that cartoon too. The game's fun. And Toe Jam and Earl's on there. There's Street Fighter. Not Street Fighter, excuse me. Streets of Rage. What else? I don't know. There's a couple Disney games that are fun. Those Disney games are fun.
Yeah, Lion King was my favorite.
It was the Mickey Mouse and like a Fantasia kind of game or something like that.
Ah, interesting.
Those are fun. But she'll play it. Which is good.
Well, my friend, I believe it is that time to close the book on another Bro Plata. And it was a great night of fights. I loved it. I can't wait to talk about, and I think we'll do a show Friday discussing the Jack Hermanson fights that are coming up.
Yeah, our boy's out. Kevin Holland's out. But Vittori's pretty good, man. Vittori's pretty good. Got to get on last second notice. So, and they moved Kevin Holland to the pay-per-view card. He's fighting Jacare. So,
Jesus Christ, that's going to be a wonderful fight.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, tell them your lovely social media handles.
It's right there.
Right there.
Dig Danko, at Dig Danko.
And I'm going to be a plug whore because I want this to actually get people there. If you go to the Funny Stop, get your tickets for the March 4th through 6th with Aaron Berg from Compound Media. He will be at the Funny Stop. Pete booked him and then also booked me for the Thursday show. I was happy as a clam to find out that I was going to be hosting at least one show for Aaron that weekend or that week. So I'm excited to definitely be a part of that one because I love all the Compound guys. We know a lot of them. Kevin Downey Jr., Terry McNeely, Dave Landau, who hosts with Anthony Cumia on Compound Media. They had an episode today that I had to message him. It was one of their best shows ever because it was just so fucking angry. Like it was a no give a fuck show. So if you get a chance and you're watching this, subscribe to Compound Media. It's only $6.99 a month, I believe.
Look at this. Look how bad he wants on. Look how bad he wants. Look what he's doing. He's on his knees right now, Compound.
I love Compound Media. Compound Media is the shit. Nothing can compare to Compound Media, sir.
See, look how hard he's going in the paint. Look how hard in the paint he's gone. Mouth open, handcuffed. He's going hard.
Making sure that it hits that little dangly thing right in the back of my throat. Right. I'm earning the Compound Media flag for the Bro Plata because I love Bro Plata. I love Compound Media. And hopefully one day we can be a part of that.
I can't check. I'll tell you that much. I mean,
oh my God, I'll be so happy if we can get on Compound Media and actually get a follower.
I know you would, Ray.
It would be a dream come. It would literally be like, you remember when Sylvester Stallone hosted SNL and they did the Orange Julius sketch?
No.
There's one part where Sylvester Stallone grabs 2 oranges and is like, welcome to Orange Julius. How can I help you? It's a dream come true. That would be my dream come true, is to be on Compound Media. But yes, go, because Aaron Berg needs ticket sales for his upcoming ticket or show at the Funny Stop.
Didn't that guy get shot in a duel?
No, that was Aaron Burr. This is Aaron Berg.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said Burr. Okay,
one's a Canadian Jew, and the other one was Treasury Secretary.
Okay, my bad.
But for Tim Danko, I'm Ray Highcliffe.
Is he Treasury Secretary? I think he's Secretary of State.
No, Hamilton shot him. Yeah. Hamilton was Secretary of Treasury.
Burr shot Hamilton.
Yes.
And Hamilton was Secretary. He was State. I think he was Vice President at one point too, wasn't he? Burr?
I don't know. I'm not that up on American presidents as I used to be.
Not that up on? Like it just 70 years before. You know what movie I just watched? Citizen Kane.
What did you think?
It's amazing. Like,
Okay.
I mean, you always hear like it's one of the best movies ever made. You're like, dude, this movie came out in 1941. This is almost 80 years old. You know, I just no way it holds up. And I watch it. I watched it because Mank is coming out on about the guy who wrote it with the Gary Oldman. It's coming on Netflix in a couple of days. I think in 2 days. I think Friday. But I haven't seen Citizen Kane. I should probably watch it. It was on HBO Plus. I watched it, and yeah, it's everything you hear. It's great. It's a great movie.
That's one of
it holds up. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
so good. It's a very tragic character, man. He had everything. The light, and then he turned, and it's it's great. And his relationships, but anyway, it's great. It's a great story about a man and his life, and it's a fantastic movie.
Do you know who that movie was actually based off of?
I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? When you tell me, oh shoot, the hemp guy. The paper guy.
Patty Hearst's grandfather.
Hearst.
Yes,
Hearst. Yeah,
William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh man, Orson Welles based a lot of that character on William Randolph Hearst, and he actually met him on the day of the premiere. He was just staying at the hotel that he was staying at, and they had an elevator ride. And this is like 1947 or whatever the fuck, where they still kind of talked like this. Hello, dame. How are you?
Yeah, you watch that movie, you're like, yeah, that's how everybody talked. Let's just bring that back.
There's a cool Orson, I think it's Dick Cavett, has a cool Orson Welles interview where he talks about meeting William Randolph Hearst. I'll send it to you. But no, dude, that was a movie. That one, Grapes of Wrath, Cool Hand Luke, Patton, and then Slapshot were movies that I watched with my dad religiously. Anytime fucking Grapes of Wrath was on Turner Classic Movies, that big bastard would be sitting in his fucking recliner and go, Ray, it's on. And I would be like, yes, let's watch fucking Grapes of Wrath, depression, sadness. Let's do it.
I mean, a lot of those movies, those old movies, the movies that came out in the 30s or 40s, you watch them now, they seem just a little bit boring. It's just they just don't hold up as much, right? And you watch them because they're classics, right? They're classics, and they define movies at the time. And you watch them and you respect them for that. Although you're just kind of like, whatever. However, Citizen Kane isn't like that. Citizen Kane is just straight up good. It's straight up good. It holds up. It's entertaining the whole way through. It's awesome. It's amazing. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. But I mean, the first couple of minutes, I'm just like, this is going to be as good as I heard it was. I already knew. Like I knew. You hear it's one of the best movies ever made, and it's 80 years old, but it's not. They're not wrong. It's great.
No, that's one of those movies that, like, if I have kids, I'm sitting them down and going, "This is what cinema used to be compared to now." And I agree with you on one thing. And one of my favorite movies that I love to death. It's a sci-fi film, Planet of the Apes. It's a classic movie in the idea that it meanders in the beginning, just meanders to pretty much no payoff until they get out of the forbidden zone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's one of those kind of, and a lot of older movies take a very long time to get to the point compared to now.
Yeah, we talked about that with Cuckoo's Nest, man. Even, it's like that, but it's a great movie, but you have to, it's different. But I think the one that's different is it's just Citizen Kane because it's entertaining the whole way through because it's building up this guy's whole story of his life, and it's all good. Breaking news on Bro Plata: Citizen Kane is a good movie.
Hold on, we need the banner. We need the banner. I have it right
done.
here.
We're good.
Yep.
Breaking news.
And breaking news.
Oh, it was there. There it is. Breaking news: Citizen Kane is good. Another thing, I just watched a movie with Melissa McCarthy. It's fine. It's a quick, funny movie called Super Intelligence. It's on HBO Plus. This is her new one. Just came out.
I'm kind of Melissa McCarthy'd out.
That's fine. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that I saw a guy I knew. Mark Valoa. He came through Kent one time. We did a show with him. He's a really cool guy. I like the dude. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I like the dude. He's funny. I'm watching it. I'm like, holy, is that Like I saw him in the background. I'm pretty sure it was him. I didn't ask him yet. I'm like 95% sure that was him. And just you ever see that like when you work with comics, you're like that fuck know that guy. You know, in the background or something, because a lot of comics are in stuff, you know, either a little bit of acting or just some background work, or actually he was an extra, but he was like plays a part of like an IT department, an IT scene, and I'm like, I definitely know who that guy is. And I looked him up and I looked at pictures. I'm like, yes, that's 100% him.
One
thing about comedy, man, that happens sometimes.
What's the recent most Rob Zombie movie? 3 from Hell has Stephen Michael Quesada on it. And if people know who Stephen Michael Quesada is, he's from Detective Gomez from Breaking Bad.
He's coming to the funny stuff too.
He will be. Yeah, I got to meet him a couple years ago. I want to say it was late 2018. And I looked at him dead in the face because I did the same thing to Screech. When I met him, I admitted I had never seen their TV show.
Screech probably didn't give a shit. Huh?
Screech looked at me and was like, you weren't in the demo, so no, you're fine.
that is a good point. You weren't in the demo.
Not the time. And then Stephen Michael Quesada just looked at me and was like, there's people like you out there. I've met them.
You haven't watched any Breaking Bad, you mean?
I've watched maybe.
I haven't finished it. I've watched maybe half of it. Yeah. I've watched a couple seasons, but I haven't finished it. I've
never seen a full episode.
It's fine.
Ever.
I didn't watch The Office very much.
I'm starting to slowly get into The Office. My one friend's really big into The Office.
I think I got to give it a better shot. But what I watch, I don't really like, man. But at the same time, if someone tells me they didn't like the first couple of episodes of Parks and Rec, I'm like, do you got to watch the second, third season? Third season's probably the best season. Like stuff like that. I love Parks and Rec. It's no longer on Netflix, which pisses me off. But
a more recent one that's getting its due, luckily, is Schitt's Creek.
I haven't watched Schitt's Creek at all. It's on Netflix. It's there for me to watch, but
it's so funny. It is so funny, and you can definitely tell that the Levy branches don't fall far from the tree, because Dan Levy is absolutely on par with his father when it comes to comedy writing. Eugene Levy is fucking God. I love him.
Eugene Levy. Yeah, I love all those. I mean, we talked about those Christopher Guest movies, right? Those are great, man.
Oh my God, him and Catherine O'Hara in A Mighty Wind.
Yeah, all those.
They're the best part about that movie.
Yeah, they're great, and they're in Best in Show too. Yeah.
Yes, and also they did another film. I can't remember what it was called.
Mascots. That's on Netflix. Mascots isn't bad. That's another Christopher Guest one. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's not bad.
I have to check that one out.
Oh, you're like, who else is in that? The usual suspects for Christopher Guest movie. Fred Willard's in it. Who else?
What happened?
Chris O'Dowd's in it too.
Ooh,
yeah, I like Chris O'Dowd. Yeah, he's fun. It's good. Watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. You'll like it. Okay, we done. I need to eat a pork chop.
Well, yes. For Tim, we're gonna end the episode, and so Tim can go eat and be a fat boy. I have already eaten, so I'm going to probably just drink beer for the rest of the night. Thank you guys for watching Bro Plata. We appreciate it. Share this out with your friends. We are available on all streaming platforms, including iHeartMedia, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So go and do that. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. This has been Bro Plata. See you at the Kumite, bitches.